Hello everyone. So today we will learn about macros, and also I want to share a link with you guys, and this is a link of our website. And if you need the article version of this video, you can go and visit there. So if you go to our channel's homepage, you can see this link, and when you click here, uh, our website will open, and you can get the article version of our videos as well as some contest. You can participate in contest, and it will be live on uh, 1st January 2026. Then we have practice MCQs, where you can practice for Salesforce certification exams. And I guarantee you, if you do practice from here, you will definitely get some questions from here. And then we have online compiler. If you are learning some other language, you can definitely use this. So now let's continue with video. So today we will learn about macros. So they are like a set of instructions. So if you have written any program, you give the computer some instructions, so the computer can follow that and it complete a task. So similarly, we have macros in Salesforce. So we provide some instructions, so how to do a task, and then the macros complete that task automatically. So it is great for consistency. By consistency, I mean that if I perform task A, then task B, so it should be performed in order. First, we need to perform task A, then we need to perform task B. And if we do not follow that order, so it is not consistent. So that is why we use macros to perform the task in consistency. And next, we use them for performing repetitive tasks. So it saves a lot of time. Next, we have some prerequisites. So we need to click on this link and it will open this page. So here are some prerequisites we need to follow before creating macros and using them. So first, we need to add a publisher. So this is a chatted publisher. It is by default. And then we need to add some actions here. So we can perform those actions with macros. So in order to add some actions, we need to click on the scare icon and then click on edit object. Now we need to go to case page layouts. And after that, we need to click here on edit button. Now we need to go and click here mobile and lightning actions. Now we need to click here override the predefined actions so that we can customize it. And now let's add new account quick action. Now let's save it. Now if we refresh here, we will see option of new account. So similarly, we can add more actions so that we can use them with the help of macros. But also we cannot use macros on post and poll. So this is some drawbacks that we have. And so there is one more prerequisite for using macros is that we need to add the macros in utility items. For that, we need to go here and click on the home button and then search for app manager. Now we need to click here and search for service console. Then we need to click on edit button. Now we need to click on utility items and then you need to click on here, click here, and then search for macros. Now let's click on save tab. And if we do a empty cache and hard reload again, then we will see a macro option on utility items. So this is very important. If we do not add it, then we will not be able to create macros as well as use macros. Now, if we click here and we can see a plus icon. If we click here, then we can create macros, and when when we want to use we want to use a macro, then all the macros will come here, and then the only thing that we need to do to use the macros will be to click on that macro, and then we can use that macro. Next, we have a macro object. This is a standard object, and we can create some fields on this object also. And for assigning permissions to users, we can use profiles or permission sets, and we can provide permissions on them. We can provide read permission if we want the user to use macros, and we can provide them edit permission or create permission if we want our users to be able to create macros and edit them. And next we have this app permission. This is important permission for making uh, irreversible macros that we will learn later. And next we have this macro settings in setup. If we go here and if we search for macros, we see that we have in these two options, and they are both by default not checked. And if we check them, then we will be able to search through all macro text fields. And then if we check this, we will be able to share and organize macros in folders. And so this is it for this video. Thank you guys.
Hello guys, so today we will continue learning macros. So now we will learn about different types of macros. So first we have regular macros. So these macros we can use to perform some actions that can be undone. So these actions cannot be submitted or sent or saved. So by that I mean that we can undo these actions. So these are safe for us. And for example, a macro that inserts an email template but doesn't send an email is a regular macro. So this is an example of this macro, and I think the definition of regular macro is now clear. So now let's solve this practice scenario. And in this scenario we have some service reps that needed to send some notifications in case of case escalation. What I mean by case escalation is that the customers sometimes escalate case because they think that their problem, request or issue cannot be solved at the current level, so they reach out to the managers of service reps. So that's why they escalate the case, and they escalate the case by changing this status field to escalated. So this is how the customers escalate the case, and when this condition met, the service reps are required to send some notifications to these persons, and it depends on the case priority. So there are total 9 emails that they required to remember, and so every time their customers escalates the case, they need to notify these persons, and it is hard to remember these emails. So that is why we are creating this macro to help them to or to populate these emails in CC field, so they do not require to remember them. So first we do not have the email action here, so we need to put the email action here. To do so, we go to the setup, and first we need to enable email to case. So we'll write email then dash, then we need to click here and continue. Now you need to click here, edit, and then you need to click here. So I already have it enabled, so let's save it. And then after that you need to go to object manager and then search for case. So now we need to click on this object, and in case you need to go here, case page layouts, and then you need to edit this case layout. And after editing, you need to click here, mobile and lightning actions. Now you need to drag this second email action to here. Now just click on quick save and do an empty cache and hard reload, control shift R, to see if it comes here, and if it will not come, then we will try with this one. Now we can see our email action is here. Now when we click here, we will get an option to send an email. So now currently we do not have anyone on CC automatically populated when we change it to escalated, then we do not see any CC email here. So we need to create a macro. So in order to create a macro, we need to click here and then click on this create button, and we will write email CC fill. We can use any email, and we need to apply this macro on case. So just click on save, and now we need to add some instructions that will auto populate these mails into CC field. Now we will click on edit instructions. Now it will open macro builder. So now it's loading. Now here we have the macro builder and the page is loading. We have these two buttons, and add instruction and add logic. So if we click here, add instruction, we need to select what needed to be clicked on the screen, and also we can add some logics, and logic can be some condition that we need to check. So first we need to add a logic. We need to check if the status of this case is escalated or not. Now we will click on this button, add logic. So first we will check if the status of this case is escalated or not. We will now click on this add condition, and then we will select the status equals, operator equals, and then value as escalated. Now it's done. Now we will check another condition, if priority is low or not. Now here is priority and low, operator equals. Now our first condition is ready. Now in the case of when the priority is low and case is escalated, we need to put these 3 emails here in CC. So we will click on this instruction, add instruction. Now we will click here. So it is already selected. Now we will click here, and then we will replace. We do not have to replace the existing text. We will insert after existing text, and we will copy and paste all the address that are here into there. Control C and Control V. And that is it for this condition. Now we need to add else if condition. To add else if condition, we will click here, add else if. All conditions are met. We need to select this one, and when all the conditions will met, this action will execute. And after that, we need to add the same condition if status equals escalated. Click done, and add more condition if priority equals medium. Click done, add instruction. Now we need to select this region, and then again we need to select this. Now we need to paste these emails there. Now it's pasted. Now similarly we need to add one more condition, so we will click here. Now we need to click here, add else if, and add condition status equals escalated. Click done, and now add another condition, priority equals high. Click done, add instruction, click on this email region, and then click here. And now let's add the CC emails. Now we need to insert after existing text. We will do that, and here also insert after existing text. Now we have built our logic. Now we will click on the save button. Now it's saved. Let's go back. Click here cancel, and we'll do a empty cache and hard reload. Control Shift A. Now we see our logic, and it's written clearly here, and we will check if everything is correct. Now everything is correct. Now it's time to run this macro on this case. So now our customers just now have escalated this case, and I'm a service rep and I want to send an email to my manager. And in CC field, I do not remember to which uh, people I need to add. So I will click on this macro button and email CC fill. I will click on this run button. Now we will evaluate the conditions and now we click here done. Now let's minimize this, and now we got these three CC mails here. Now again I will check if there is anything that needed to be removed. So I think there is no need to notify test3 at the rate learn.com. We will cut it. Now it's good. Now we can send the mail. Since I do not have verified my email address, currently I'm not able to send, but this is how it works. So here we can have a lot of a complex logic of notification that we can implement uh, in our macro. So this is it for this video, guys. So I think the regular macro is clear to you guys. So the main logic is that we can undo uh, all our regular macros, so it do not cause any submit, sent or saved type of actions. So this is it for now, and in the next video we will learn about irreversible macros. Till then, bye bye. Hello, so today we will learn about irreversible macros. So before that, please check out our website codewme.dev.
If you go to our channel's homepage, you can see this link, and when you click here, uh, our website will open, and you can get the article version of our videos as well as some contest basics. Then we have practice MCQs, where you can practice for Salesforce certification exams. And I guarantee you, if you do practice from here, you will definitely get some questions from here. And then we have all-in compiler. If you are learning some other language, you can definitely use this.
Now let's continue with the video. So what are irreversible macros? So these macros can perform actions that cannot be undone, such as sending emails to customers, or they can perform some operations on database, such as updating a case status. These actions contains a submit action instruction that is irreversible. To create, edit or run, user require a special app permission that is called manage macros users cannot undo. So this is a special permission that is required to run, edit and create irreversible macros, and this is very important. Without this app permission, users cannot run or create or edit irreversible macros even if they have the required permission on macro object. So I hope the definition of irreversible macro will be clear to you. Now let's move to the practice scenario. So in this scenario, we have a service rep and who tries to call to a customer, and the call suddenly drops, and the customer do not picks the call, or maybe the call disconnects in just the starting of the call. So the service agent requires to log this call, because it do not have any useful information that is being manually logged. We will use this irreversible macro to make this repetitive task more fast, and they can easily log this call. So these are the data that we need to put using macros while logging a call. So let's start. So this is the log a call button. We need uh, this to be pressed by macro. Then we need to put the subject, and then we need to put comments and then name. So these things we need to put. So now let's start. So first we need to click here, and then we need to click on this plus icon. Now we name it anything we like log call, log and disconnected call. So we can name it anything as we want. Now let's save it. Now here is the macro. Now we need to add instruction into it. We will click on this edit instruction button. So it will open the macro builder. Now we need to add the instruction to click on this log a call button. So we will click here, add instruction, then click on log a call button. And now we have these three fields: call, comments, and name. So we will check what we need. So we need the subject to call, disconnected, or drop. So we did not have any subject. I think we have the subject, and but we do not have the subject. So we will create this one, and in comments we will place this Control C and Control V. Next we have task status. So we do not have task status here. So then case status we need to put it as working. So we will click here and then we put the status as working. Now we have left with these two things, this status one and the subject one. In order to do that, we need to create this pick list value on the task record on the subject field. And so we will go here and let's save this once before going out. And now let's click here and then go to the setup. Now we are in the setup. We will go to the object manager and search for task object. Now we will click here and then we will go to fields and relationships. We will search for subject SUPJ. Now this is our pick list. Now I will click here, click on the subject, and then we will click on this new button and copy and paste this new value here. Now let's click on the save button. After that, we have this new value on our subject pick list. Now we need this task status to be present on this layout, logger call layout, but we do not have the task status. In order to add that, we will click here and click on this edit object. We can also go from here also, and after that we need to click here, buttons, links and actions. Now we need to find this logger call action. We search for log now here is our quick action. Now we will click on it, and then we click on this edit layout. After that we will place the status below the name, and now let's save it. Now we will do an empty cache and hard reload. Control Shift R. So after a lot of empty cache and hard reload, this new pick list value is finally here, called disconnected and drop. So now let's edit on our macro builder. So we have all the fields that needed to be edited on the macro on our page layout. So now let's go to macro and edit this. So we need to do an empty cache and hard reload here also. Now we need to click on this cut button because it will got updated after we have added a new field on the layout. So we will close here, and then we will click here, and then we will click on this subject button that we need to add, and this comments, and then the status field. On this field we need to add. Now let's fill the values into it. So in the subject we need to pick this one called disconnected drop, and on comments we need to write this. We will copy this and paste there. Control C and Control V. Now we will do insert after existing text. So if there is any requirement of adding some text in additional to this text, the service rep can easily do that. And in the sub status we need to put completed. So we'll click here and click on this completed pick list. Now I think we have done all the things. Now the final thing is that we need to click on save button. So it will add an instruction of submit action. So this one is complete. Now we need to click here, and again we need to click on the save button. So it will add an instruction of submit action. So this is it. Now we have created our macro. We will save it. Now it's saved. Now let's go to our macro. Now we will check once if everything is right. Now everything is correct. Now we will go to the case, and now I will run this macro, where I will click here and click on this macro that we have just created. log a disconnected call, then I will click on this run button. Now the macro is running. Now our submit action is executing. Now the macro has run. We click on this done button. We minimize this and we can see that the case status has been updated to working, and also this call has been logged. So we will view this call and we can see the task has the subject call disconnected drop, and also we see the status is completed, and we see this comment, this one, try to reach customers. So now everything is completed, and this submit action, it is required to create this macro, irreversible macro. This is it for this scenario, practice scenario. And so the one important thing is that this permission, and we can assign this permission on profile level or by using a permission set. So I will show you how we can create a permission set with this permission. So we will click on this gear icon and go to the setup, and we will search for permission set. We will click here and click on new, and we will label it as irreversible macros. Now let's click on the save button. Now we need to go here on app permissions. Now we need to click on the edit button and Control F, write macro. So here is our permission, manage macros, users cannot undo. We'll check this and click on save. And save again. Now our permission set is ready, and if you assign this permission set to any of the users, so they will be able to create and run irreversible macros. So this is it for this video. We will meet in next video. Until then, bye bye. Hello guys, so today in this video I will tell you what bulk macros are, and we will do a practice scenario in which we will build a bulk macro, and then finally we will compare this bulk macro with other two macros that we have created till now in part 2 and 3. So what are bulk macros? So these macros are those macros that run on multiple records at a time, and they work usually on list views. So this is very important point here. So whenever we create a bulk macro, we should update a field that will help the service reps to distinguish between the records on which the bulk macro has already ran and the records on which the bulk macros has not yet ran. And to run a bulk macro, we require this app permission, run macros on multiple records. So this is the app permission that is required to run bulk macro, and we can provide this app permission via profile or a permission set. Now let's do this practice scenario. And in this practice scenario, just imagine that there are some support agents that see a lot of new cases every day, and among them one by fourth of them are spam, or they are out of office replies or some marketing mails that came into the mail. So they that are automatically converted into cases. And now if they close those cases one by one, it take a lot of clicks and a lot of time. So in order to save that time, we will create a bulk macro that will help them to close these spam cases very fast. Now let's start doing this practice scenario. We will go on our playground, and in order to create a bulk macro, we will click here on this macro utility item, and then we will click on this plus icon, and we will write any name, close spam cases. Now we will apply it to case object, then we will click on save button. After that, we need to add instructions, so we will click on this edit button. It will open macro builder, and then we will add instructions. We will click here, and then we will select the screen. So we will click here, and then we will select this status, and then we choose the value as closed, and then we will click here on save button. So it will add a submit action, and then we will save this. So now we have our bulk macro ready. Now let's go back and refresh here. We'll do empty cache and hard reload, and now we will see the instructions. Now everything is fine. Now let's test it out. So in order to test this, we will go to the list view. So bulk macros only work on list views. We need to go to the list views. So we will go on this all open cases list view, and we will click here. So this is our macro, and all the bulk macros have this lightning symbol next to their name. So it will, if it is a bulk macro, then we will definitely have this symbol. So now in order to run this macro, we need to select the cases on which we need to run this macro. So we will select them. Now we will click on this button, run macro. So now it will ask for our confirmation. We will click on this run button, and now the macro has been successfully ran. And now since the cases are closed, we cannot see them on this list view. So this is what I have talking here. And in this macro, the field that is being updated is the status field. So I can clearly see on which cases this macro has not been run yet. So all the cases on which this bulk macro have not run will come here on this all open cases list view. I hope this one will be now clear. Now we have completed our practice scenario. So now we have 3 macros. So this one macro we have created on part 3, in which I have told you about irregular macros and email CC fill. This macro we have created on part 2, in which I have told you about regular macro. So this one is a regular macro, and this one is a bulk macro that we have created in this video. So I will tell you the difference between them. So first I will tell you the difference between regular macros and this bulk macro. So if we go in its detail, we will click here and then we will see its instruction. So first we have this logic, if else logic. So if we have this logic, if else logic, then it will not be a bulk macro. So this is the first reason, and the second reason is that we have an add instruction. We have appended these mails on CC address. So this is another reason this macro is not a bulk macro. And the final reason is that it do not have any submit action. So these are three reasons why this regular macro is not a bulk macro. Now if I go to this irreversible macro, when I click in view detail button, so we will see we have this action here, insert action. So we have appended this comment to existing comment that will be inserted by the service rep. So that is why this macro is not a bulk macro. So so I hope the difference will be clear now, and I will share you this documentation link where you will get all the details where the bulk macro is supported and where the bulk macro is not supported. So this one is very important. So I will share you the link of this documentation on this video description. Now there is only one thing left, that is this permission, and you will find this permission on app permission. So let's create a permission set that will enable users to run bulk macros. In order to do that, we will go in this gear icon and we will type permission sets here. So we'll click here and we will create a new permission set. So we can provide this permission on the profile level also, and we can also create a permission set that will enable users to run bulk macros. So we will save this and we will go here click on here app permissions, then we will click Control F and then we'll write run. So we have here run macro on multiple records. We will click on this edit button and we should have the read access on the macro. This is a prerequisite for this run macro on multiple records permission. Now we will save this. Now let's click on the save button. Now we have created this permission set, and if we assign this permission set to any of the user, then they will be able to run bulk macros, and they must have the permission to read on macro object. So that permission was the requirement. So this is it for this video, and in the next video I will tell you about how we can share these macros with the users. So this is it for now. We will meet in next video. Thank you guys. Hello guys, so in this video I will show you how we can share macros with users. So this is a dummy user that I have created, and I will share these three macros that we have created till now with this dummy user. So The process of sharing the macros in Salesforce is similar to what we have in quick text. The process is similar. So first we need to enable the settings to share macros. To do that, we need to type here macro in quick find box. So we will click here on macro settings, and then we need to check this checkbox, share and organize macros in folders. So this is the requirement. Then we will click on the save button. So I have already done that, and then we need to this is optional. You can add this macro here by editing this and add more items. Then you can search for macro and add this macro as a navigation item, so that you can easily navigate to macros. Then we need to first create a folder. So I will create a folder. I will name it as share macro with support users. You can name anything. Now let's save it, and our folder is now created. Now I need to put these macros inside that folder before sharing them. So we will click here and we will click on this information, and we do not see any folder option here. Also we do not have any option to add this macro inside that folder. So in order to add this macro inside the folder, we need to enable one field. We need to add one field on this layout, and the field name is folders. So in order to do that, we need to go here in the object manager and search for macro object. So here is our macro object. We will click here, and then we need to click on this page layout. Now we need to edit this page layout. Now we see this folder field here. Now we need to drag and drop this folder field here. Now we will save it. Now we will go back and do an empty cache and hard reload to see our changes. Now the folder field is visible here. Now we will edit this folder field and select a folder. Now this is our folder that we have created till just now. So we will select this folder and save. Similarly, we will do this thing with all other two macros. We'll select the folder, save it, and the last one we will do the similar thing. Select a folder, select this folder, select folder, save. Now this macro is added to this folder. Now in order to share this folder to this dummy user, so this is a user. I want to share these macros with him. So we will go in all folders here, and then we will click on this arrow icon and then click on this share button. Now I am sharing with this dummy user, so I will select users, and we have other options also. And for the name, so we have here dummy user, and the access is view access, so he can use the macros. And then we will click on the share button and done. Now let's log in with dummy user. we will click on this login button, and if you do not have this login button, you can search for login access policies on your setup. So now we have logged in with dummy user. Now we will click here to check if we have these macros. Now we see these 3 macros. So this is it for this video, and we will meet in next video. Until then, bye bye.